In this tutorial, we will build an online first contact screen using SwiftData. You'll see real records in the list in a minute, and we'll begin to design the model and also sync to Firebase later. So this is the app at the moment. I'll now show you Firebase. You can see there's no records there. So now I will create a few records. That's the first record. But I will disconnect the Wi-Fi so that the data isn't pushed to Firebase. I now save the record to SwiftData. I'll create another record. And save again. And you can see that the records have not been persisted, they haven't been sent to Firebase because we're not online at the moment. So now what I will do, I will stop the simulator and then rerun it. And then now I will attempt to push the records to Firebase, the two records, which are at the moment stored offline. So I just pull to refresh. Oh, I've forgotten to turn the Wi-Fi on, but that's a good test anyway, so you can see that it really works. I pull to refresh it again. But there's something wrong with the Wi-Fi. Has it worked now? So let's check Firebase. And now you can see, if I click on Contacts Collection, now you can see that the two records were submitted to Firebase. My record and also Fred blogs. And we can also delete the record from SwiftData, and the records will also be deleted from Firebase. Just refresh. You can see now it just includes my record only. So today we'll be fixing the contacts view, which was originally the content view. We'll be using our view model within the contacts view. So the view model we'll be using is contact view model. So let's start to do some of the modifications. Let's delete the lines between 14 to 20 and then enter the following. At state object private var VM contacts view model at state private var editor root. The editor roots enum doesn't exist as yet. We'll be creating that afterwards. So the purpose of using the editor root is to avoid two sources of truth, such as using is showing sheet and selected contact. So if the list refreshes or reorders while a sheet is presenting, booleans can open the wrong contact. A root makes the sheet behave like navigation, such as where are we, not is it the correct sheet to open, or is it okay to open the sheet. So I'll just copy the code from the clipboard for the editor root, and also we can delete the seed contacts function. And then I'll just paste the enum here and then indent the code that was pasted. Oh, that didn't really do anything. Let me see if I do Control I. That doesn't do anything neither. So I have to indent it manually. The seed function doesn't exist as we have already deleted it. So the next thing we need to do is to, what do we need to do? We need to create our initializer. Init VM. So our initializer accepts a view model, which is contacts view model. So why state object within init? We want the VM to survive the view, as in redraw. Passing it in keeps it more testable, and this is also a form of dependency injection as well. So VM equals state object wrap value VM. The next thing we need to do is to update our entire body. So I'll just copy and paste the code. I'll just pause it first. So here is the updated code for the bar body. Still not formatted correctly. Let's see if we can fix that. Editor, reindent, do it manually. To shorten the video, I had to reindent offline. So this is how it should look at the moment. There's still a few errors because at the moment there's a few views that do not exist at the moment, such as the contact editor sheet view doesn't exist, or the toast view doesn't exist neither. We'll be implementing it afterwards. So on lines 40, we have a tiny sync indicator, progress view, to show the progress without blocking the user. Often the UI flickers, which is similar to like throttle or debouncing sync triggers. Line 46, this is an open sheet. It is enter new contacts flow. And the reason why search text lives in the VM, the view model, is because it is part of the screen state, which keeps the UI filtering consistently. And also failure mode, local filtering plus remote refreshes at the same time and can create jumpy lists. Root-based editing helps because the sheet identity doesn't drift with the list order. On lines 59, pull to refresh. So the reason why we do it that way is to enable the user to explicitly pull to refresh using the intent. So we can run refresh and sync directly. On line 70, the save happens in a task, the UI stays responsive, networking DB works asynchronously. So there's like a few trade-offs. If we save, or if save fails after dismiss, the user thinks it's saved. And then the production option would be to keep the sheet open on failure or show a toast and retry. So the next thing we need to do is to create our toast view and also our contact editor sheet view. To create our toast view, let's just create a new SwiftUI file. Name the file toast view. And then I'll just paste the code from the clipboard. Let's see if we can make it a bit more neater. So that's the toast view that will show any alerts or errors on the screen, such as progress or unable to save. The other view we need to create is our contact editor sheet. I'll just get it from the clipboard. We need to create another new SwiftUI view. Name the view contact editor sheet. And I'll just paste the code from the clipboard. Also have to re-indent. Control I. Some of these things have to be done manually, seems like. I'll just delete the preview. On lines 34, as you can see, cancel is a hard exit, no side effects, no writes, and also for save on line 37, we trim email and the phone for validation. And then afterwards, we just dismiss immediately on line 40. And that's done for speed as well. And also on lines 43 for on repair, we pre-fill the form with the selected contact. As you can see, if a contact exists, the next view we need to create is our content view. So this is another SwiftUI view called content. I just paste the code from the clipboard. And then re-indent. Let's see if Control I works. It doesn't really work. Probably have to do this manually as well. I did it manually off camera. Since the view model is not seen within content, seems like we have to copy or cut all of this code and then paste it within our contacts view. Because at the moment the view model cannot be seen in the contact file. Oh, where's all the other files? So back within our contacts view, we can just paste that code anywhere after line 103. So at the moment, it seems like the only view that is missing is the loading state view. So now I will explain the purpose of the content that we just copied and pasted. On line 108, we never show a blank screen that reassures the user immediately. And also for the empty condition, which is a empty state, to show error or to give more context of the action that happened. And also the root keeps this consistent with the toolbar. And in line 122, errors should be recoverable. So we show the message and a retry path. And within the load case, we make the entire row tappable using an on-tap gesture. So what does tap mean? Tap means to edit this contact, and the root drives the sheet. And here it deletes and refresh. So that keeps the list in sync with the correct state. The other views that we need to create includes loading states. I'll just create a new SwiftUI view. And the purpose of that view is just to show if something is loading or not. Loading state view. I'll just copy the code from the clipboard. Delete the preview. We also need to create an empty state view. And also an error state view. Just select the preview again. And state view. Just compile it. I cannot find loading states. Loading state view. Spelled the same way. Or maybe it's an issue with Xcode. Let me see. Yes, it appears that loading state view has been found. It's an Xcode issue. But the view that we don't have at the moment is contact row view, so we need to create that view. New file, contact row. And here is the code for the contact row view. You can see it's easy to understand. The purpose of the contact row view is to enable each of the elements to be displayed within the row, such as the contact's name, email, and phone number. Now let's run the application. Oh yeah, there's something else I need to show you. Within the app file, you need to make sure that you have imported Firebase core and implemented this line for the app container and for the repository. Now run the application. And as you can see, it has retrieved the records from Firebase, and this is also the information that has been stored within SwiftData. I can delete the records as well. Rerun the app. The record has been deleted from Firebase and from SwiftData. If this topic is where you keep getting stuck in SwiftUI, that's exactly what I help people with in one-to-one mentoring. There's a free clarity call link in the description.